Hi, it's Sharon Lipinski, the Habit Superhero, and welcome to the Habit Huddle, where I share a quick tip, an insight, or a strategy that you can use to master your habits. Because the only thing that is standing between you and the life you want are the good habits you wish you had and the bad habits you wish you didn't. And this week, we're talking about why you want to know why you want to create a new habit. People don't change because they need to change. They don't change because they've been told they should change. If that were true, we wouldn't see people with lung cancer smoking through their tracheotomy holes. People change when what they want lines up with their deepest values, their deepest motivations, with what they want out of life. So let's do a quick exercise to help you connect with your values. First, identify your most important roles. Where are you showing up in the world? Are you a parent, a spouse, a daughter or a son, a brother or sister, aunt or an uncle, a neighbor, a friend? Maybe your work or your philanthropy or your volunteer efforts are some of your most important roles. I know that's true for me. My work as a speaker, as an author, is as important to me as my role as a daughter and as a spouse. Second is to identify your most important values. And I'm going to list off a few values here, but don't feel confined to my list. This is just to get you thinking. Do you value family, friendship, faith? Do you value spontaneity, adventure, creativity? Do you value education or service? Do you value integrity, kindness? Do you value financial independence? It can help to answer this question if you imagine what it is that you want people to say about you at your funeral. I know that what I want people to say about me is that Sharon was kind, she was a woman of her word, and she was dedicated to making a difference. That's what I value. What do you value? Third, once your roles are clear, once your values are clear to you, then you want to connect them to this new desired behavior that you're trying to create. People are motivated by both pain and by pleasure. We're going to start with the pain. At some level, the status quo is acceptable to you because if it wasn't, you would have already changed. So we're going to amp up that pain by looking down the road. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. If this doesn't change your life, what is that going to mean? Who are you going to hurt? Who are you going to disappoint? What is it going to cost you in terms of your health, your sanity, your enjoyment of life? How is not doing this new behavior inconsistent with what you value, with what you believe, who you think you are? Write this down and understand that the status quo is no longer acceptable because the reality that faces you if you don't change is entirely painful and unacceptable. And then step 4 is to connect with the pleasure. So the pain is going to push you away from the status quo, and the pleasure is going to pull you towards the new, better, brighter future that awaits you if this becomes a habit in your life. So what does await you? Is this going to make you happier or healthier? And if so, what does that mean? What does it look like? What are you going to be able to do, be, achieve that you can't do now? Are you going to interact with people differently? So are you going to be a better spouse, a better parent, a better friend because of this habit? How is this habit consistent with your deepest values? How does it express who you really want to be, how you really want to show up in this world, and what you really want to accomplish? Understand the pleasure. So here's the takeaway. We're convinced that we feel a certain way because the logic justifies it, the facts warrant it, because it just makes sense. But scientific experiments on human behavior reveal something very different. What they show is that we feel something first, and then a split second later, we come up with the logic that justifies those feelings. So if you can start with your values, with your feelings, you will give yourself the space and awareness to come up with better logic to justify the behaviors that you want to make in your life. Always start with your why because humans are emotional creatures first. Thanks for joining me for the Habit Huddle. If you enjoyed the episode, click thumbs up. And if you want more bite-sized tips on creating habits, click subscribe. And leave me a comment below. I want to know, what are your 3 most important values? Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.